Well, hello and good evening, my beautiful star seeds. This is Christian. Welcome to Starseed Mindset, and we are on day 29 of the 30-day Love Yourself Challenge. Woo! Oh my gosh, y'all. So we're almost there. I am very proud of myself for actually staying committed to this, first of all. I know I've mentioned in previous videos I have a history of not finishing certain things. But I'm pretty darn glad that I made it through. Only one day that we had to skip because of the Air Force application bit, but that was a necessary blockage in the way. But yeah, oh my gosh, welcome all. Let me know how you guys spent your 15 minutes of self-love and reconnecting with yourself today. I spent quite a bit of time on myself today, actually. It's kind of the topic I wanted to talk about today too, is knowing what self-love actually means to you. But before we get into all of that, my 15 minutes consisted of no workout, but I did do a lot of pampering. I splurged a little bit at Ulta, got a few lotions and a few serums that I'm really excited to try. So I'm like just ready to wake up and like restart my energy tomorrow. So there's that. And I don't think I've actually introduced one of my other favorite desk props, if you would call it that. I know I showed my hourglass. Gosh, I forgot what that's called. But yeah, my hourglass thingy here, sands of time, to remind myself that time is always moving. But this is another reminder to me. It's, nice, simple Buddha. And it's beautiful. It's sparkly. I love gold. And I wouldn't call myself a Buddhist or anything, but there are a lot of Buddhist principles that are very intriguing to me. And, on the aspect of self-love, I've always been guided to give to others more than I give to myself, because I've always felt that if you love yourself too much, maybe you can be like egotistical, or people aren't gonna like you or anything like that. And funny enough, after these days of actually taking care of myself and doing things for me instead of for somebody else, and even after finally canceling the trip, I feel a huge weight lifted off of me. It's like, it's okay to be a little selfish sometimes. It's something that I am actively learning. And I think I'm going to try and keep that mindset as much as I can moving forward, because it is helping me a lot to love myself and nurture myself and be able to provide, more value and more information to people that need it, because my journey's been very tough, y'all. And if you guys can take a lesson or two from my mistakes, maybe you can try to avoid them yourself. And I know you've probably heard that before, and you're probably one of those people like me that has to learn things the hard way. But there's a point to all of it, and the point is, if you're following your path and you're in alignment to your manifestations, to what you want to happen in your life, things will come to you naturally, and I wholeheartedly believe that. Now, that was just one thing that I did for today with my self-love there, is splurging a little bit and really trying to meditate on that. Something else I did, I got my brows done. It's been a hot minute, but it's something that makes me feel good. The brows are very important. They shape your face, and I like to keep mine nice and pretty. My barber's out of town, and I don't want to try doing my haircut by myself again. I've tried to do it a few times, and I have a whole little setup with like the 3-sided mirror and stuff, but maybe I'll get the confidence to do that again sometime. But I'm just gonna wait for my barber to have my appointment on Monday. But at that point, I'm gonna be feeling like myself, feeling all snatched and stuff. And even having this bulky-ish hair and still feeling confident, I'm starting to realize I don't need all of that to actually feel like I love myself. It's always been a part of my self-love routine. Like, historically, I thought that was me taking care of myself and loving myself, making sure I look good, right? But what if, all barbers in the world ceased to exist, or if I was left to just only cut my own hair? Like, it's a want, it's not a necessity. I mean, even during COVID, there were times where, gosh, I should have tried starting cutting my hair then, but I went a while without a haircut and I was still feeling okay. So I think reconnecting with that part of myself is really helping me feel better and not need all the frilly things that, we desire, because I've been a part of that crew. I've been a part of, the consumerist American, where, you see something, you're like, ooh, shiny, new, I want it. And I've been lucky enough and fortunate enough to be able to do those things because I manifested a rather healthy salary for myself. And now, where I'm like kind of in limbo of where my next steps are going to go, I don't exactly have that. So it's really bringing me back down to earth, and it's really bringing me back down to the things that I know I need and the things that make me feel fulfilled in life. I'm sorry, I should have probably drank some water before I got on here. I can't really talk all that well right now, but we're already 6 minutes in. I'm not re-recording this, so let's do it. But yeah, I was taking a look at my little Buddha earlier today and just noticing the inner peace, right? The inner peace that I'm trying to nurture for myself and trying to define what it is that really makes me happy. Like, I've struggled with that for a long time. I've always thought it was, having a partner that I can trust on and count on. But realistically, like, even if you find that partner, you're still going to need yourself at the end of the day. Otherwise, you're going to constantly just be searching for either validation, if, oh my gosh, they're not texting me as much as I want them to, right? And by doing so, you can actually push people away. So I'm starting to realize that there's very few things that I actually need, aside from the basics. Somebody out there inevitably is going to be like, oh yeah, you need water and air, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm not talking about just the basics like survival stuff. I'm talking about the things that make me feel satisfied. And when I go to bed at night, I can just rest easy and knowing that I feel like I've accomplished something, or knowing that I have something to wake up to that I look forward to. So part of my reasoning for doing my little ultra trip is I'm trying to find more affordable things that I can use in my daily routine to replace like the super fancy, crazy expensive stuff that I've been doing. And honestly, I'm seeing a much better results using those products. So I'm like, you don't even need all the fancy things. Like, just because it's marked up and just because it's a brand that just has a great marketing appeal, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's the only thing out there that you can get, and you don't have to stretch your dollar as much as you can, So I'm trying to slowly integrate those things into my skincare regimen. That's something that's very important to me. I've realized, like, I didn't realize how important it was, and hey, guess what? I'm a little vain. And that's just me. It's kind of how I grew up. Like, even just looking at some photos from my childhood, like being in Honduras, like my mama always made sure like I was dressed cute. Like, just because we didn't have much money doesn't mean you don't have class, doesn't mean that you're gonna carry yourself like, like a bum or, a peasant. If anyone's triggered by that, my apologies, but image does matter, okay? Image matters. And the image that I want to portray is something that reflects the love that I have for myself. And I'm starting to realize that. And my ex actually had mentioned many times, like, oh, you care too much about what other people think and blah, blah, blah. And honestly, I really genuinely don't. I've realized it has all been just me trying to love on myself a little bit. And doing that in addition to sobriety, that's also helping my skin feel and look a lot brighter and better. In addition to sobriety, in addition to working out and eating at home more, cooking my own food, doing the things that you need to do, studying, being cognizant of what it is that you're consuming. Like if you're just doom scrolling all day, you're gonna just doom scroll your mind. It's basically you're just letting whatever the universe wants to throw at you influence you in some way. So I'm trying to not do that. And I was a little guilty earlier. I was on social media, just a little bit more than I should have. But I was trying to distract myself from the studying that I needed to do. But thankfully, I only did that for a little bit, got back to what I was studying for the ASVAB, because I need to work on my maths a little bit. It's been a long time since I've actually done like hardcore math. But yeah, I'm starting to get to that place of realizing that happiness and self-love comes from within. I've mentioned that before, but it starts from within, but it also incorporates what you do for yourself on a daily basis, those daily habits that you build. And I don't know if you guys have read The Habit Loop. I forgot the author, but it was one of my favorite books years ago. I remember, I still have it in my audiobook playlist, but those habits that we know we need to do to better love ourselves and to be the person that we want to become starts by just taking a baby step. It's honestly really it. For me, those baby steps were stopping drinking and smoking CBD, weed, anything. Stop going out and spending money on restaurants when I can easily eat the food that I have, because I would go grocery shopping, right? Let the food go bad just because I wanted to order out 2-3 times a day. Like that's just the habits that I started to build, and breaking those habits was a little tough, not gonna lie, but I'm starting to realize that that's just me wasting the resources that I've built for myself that I can use to either grow my bank account, grow my savings, grow my 401. Well, right now my 401's turned into a IRA, but grow that, focus on long-term goals instead of like the daily, like, oh my gosh, I want this. I have to have this right now, and letting impulse really control you. So I'm starting to learn to curb that. And if you guys are on the same boat, definitely let me know if there's anything that you found that has benefited you. Do you set reminders on your phone? Like that's something that I should probably start doing now that I think about it. Set reminders on your phone like, hey, don't eat out today. Put that on a repetitive calendar cycle, repeat every day. Or put it on sticky notes as if you were manifesting something, right? Put it where you're going to see it on a daily basis, like in your bathroom mirror. It's funny, I saw this post on YouTube earlier that was like, it had this guy that had 3 sticky notes in his car. It was like, don't check her Instagram profile, don't text her, it's just little things like that. Even though it sounds silly, even though it's like, haha, yeah, that's funny, it really works, y'all. Like, and if you remind yourself of that, if you keep it visual, especially if you're a visual kind of person, if you keep it there, you're going to remind yourself on a daily basis, this is my goal, this is what I'm after, I need to focus on myself. And you're going to slowly figure out what it is that makes you happy and what you need, because I'm finally getting there and I'm really excited. So I know this is the 30th of November, now the 1st of December, oh my gosh. But I started recording this on the 2nd of November, so tomorrow shall be our day 30 of the 30-day Love Yourself Challenge. Woo! And I know I rambled on quite a bit, jumped around from topic to topic here, but really, in a nutshell, I am starting to figure out what it is that makes me happy and what I need in my life. I'm going to focus on that and nurture that. And I hope you guys join me on this journey as well. And don't just let it be 30 days. Do but do it for as long as you possibly can. As far as documenting this does take quite a bit of time and a lot of like mental focus to be like, oh my god, I have to upload this and check all the tags and all this stuff. So I'm not going to be doing it on a daily basis, for a while at least. But I will do weekly updates, and I have a couple of ideas for the manifestation videos, and I do want to delve into some numerology too. So we'll start doing that because numbers are really starting to speak to me. And as I speak to you today, I want to thank you for joining me if you've made it this far. I'm sending you all my love, light, and my darkness. I surely hope you have a beautiful, blessed day. Don't forget to own your darkness before it owns you, my loves. Have a good night. Mwah.